Dear colleagues, today I would like to come up with a demonstration lesson on a reading passage. I would like to share some of my ideas and show how I work with this kind of material. I hope you will enjoy it. Thank you. The major topic of my demo lesson is privacy on the Internet. The lesson includes the text and a few follow-up exercises. The main skill here is reading together with speaking in the exercises that come afterwards. The age focus is 13+, and the level of audience is A2, which is a starting point, going then to B1 and higher. Keeping in mind students' level, a teacher can adapt the following demo lesson to a particular class. I have received a task consisting of 2 pages of the text called I Saw It on the Internet. Here you can see the original pages from the task. The first thing I did is making a modification of the text on pages so that it becomes an easy and effective tool to work with. Here you can compare the original and the modified copy of the text. So it was just a plain text, and the other things I had to create myself. The most important aspect for any lesson is thorough and careful planning. Therefore, the plan was of my primary concern. Now my plan consists of 13 stages for which I have indicated time allowed, aims to achieve, students' activity, and interaction patterns. This enables to create a big picture of the lesson and keep all the elements aligned with the lesson objective. In the pre-reading section, I start to warm up the audience with the introduction of the context. As far as my lesson portrays privacy on the Internet, I start with a discussion of Internet and private life issues. I sort out 2 basic functions of the Internet, and after asking students, I share my ideas with them. To my mind, Internet has got 2 basic functions, which are delivering information and enabling socialization. I then ask students about types of information available on the net. Most of them usually know the right answer, so I reveal my idea. The types are text, audio and video information. Then on the next slide, I give some examples of these types. Normally, students are able to identify the types themselves. Keeping an eye on the audience, the teacher can decide whether to give a hand or let the students generate ideas independently. The second basic element is socialization, and I can ask students about instruments enabling communication on the web. For most of them, know that it is made possible with the help of social media. Here, there is a teacher's concern to stay in a bigger category. For example, student may start saying Facebook, Twitter, etc. Creating a bigger, more global category is important to teach students think globally. Then names of several social media appear on stage, which is probably the easiest task for students. What is necessary for communication on social media is a question that follows. Normally the answer account is correct. The last slide presents 2 types of accounts, which are real and fake accounts. Now this is the end of warm-up introduction. It normally takes up to 5 minutes. The last slide enables a logical transition to the topic of the text. Now the work with the text begins. According to the plan, we are to start with a prediction of a possible content. Here we have a title and 2 pictures. Sometimes it is possible to read the first paragraph to generate ideas on the passage. This step should not be underestimated, though the time allowed to spend on it should be about 2 minutes. Keyword focus is the third stage of the lesson, and its importance is very high. Beforehand, after discussing the role of the keywords and making sure that students understand that, students are demonstrated the first paragraph with the keywords highlighted. Students are encouraged to underline or highlight keywords in paragraphs 2 and 3 using the initial paragraph as an example. After completing these, students start practicing skimming and scanning of paragraphs 2 and 3. Then they are asked to match paragraphs to headings on the right side of the page. Both skimming and scanning and matching paragraphs to headings help students understand the general idea of the paragraphs. After completing the exercise is checked, right answers are demonstrated. After that, students are given some time to thoroughly read the paragraphs with the idea to find and understand detailed, specific information. The following workflow is performed with Modal 2 and 3 correspondingly, paragraphs 4 to 6 and 7 to 9. Time allowed can be extended upon necessity. We recommend to use timing in the plan as a starting point. The teacher has to be flexible and adapt time limit to a particular audience. After completing the whole passage, we are coming to have a look at the follow-up exercises. The first activity is asking students to mark the given statements true or false and justify their answers. To our mind, this exercise is quite appropriate to enable check of specific information in the text. Finding evidence in the text will provide an opportunity to prove opinion based on information from the reading passage. Students are instructed to do the exercise, and their opinion is focused on indication of paragraphs where the source information can be found. For high-level classes, this indication can be eliminated. In this case, students are reminded that the statement order in the activity repeats the same order in the reading passage. The exercise is then checked and discussed. Right answers are presented in a visual form on board or screen. Exercise 2 asks students to discuss the questions and justify answers as well. It can be performed in pairs or small groups. This could also be recommended for mixed-level classes. Therefore, the students of different language abilities are being put together. Time for the exercise can also be extended if necessary. In high-level classes, students can be asked to generate questions themselves and then ask competing pairs or small groups. Exercise 3 is optional and can be recommended for high-level classes due to its complexity and multifunctional character. The activity asks students to present a particular topic based upon a certain structure, problem, reason, solution. The structure consisting of 3 stages is presented along with the example of a topic presentation. Again, this exercise is designed for pairs or small groups and includes a broad discussion of topics. If necessary, more time can be allowed for this activity. High-level students are encouraged to generate new topics in addition to those suggested in the exercise. In a conclusion, students' attention is concentrated on smart reading techniques and developing ideas for better understanding of the reading passage. Thank you very much for your attention.